KMDT presents Geek Blast. Here are your hosts. Mike.
Described as a creepy-ass cracker.
Dave.
Let me tell you something. I am God.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I'm going to be honest. I hate this reality, or whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it any longer. I must get out of here. I must get free.
Losers!
I'm bringing the party to you.
Welcome back to KMDT Presents
Leak Gas,
Geek Blast.
where we talk about a mushroom cloud of ass. That smells real bad.
Whew. That one was good.
And we also have Stinkfist, the man who wears the curtain.
What's up?
Yo,
I'm Mike.
I'm Dave. Coombs.
Today we're having episode 3. Topics that we're going to be talking about are toys, old school and new school toys. Then we have
Our mini review of the movie we watched last Friday.
we went and saw Wolverine. That
Great
was
thing.
psyched.
But we'll get into that. Also, we're going to do our geek guilty pleasure, and then we're going to get into some new comic book news that I found out about, which I'm pretty excited. So I don't know. I mean, what do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about the toys. I'm partial to toys.
I'm down with that.
I love toys.
We love toys. I love toys. Always love toys.
Old school ones, right? Like, which ones were your favorites?
For me, it's definitely going to be old school because I'm old school. So
Yeah, we know that.
yeah.
I loved the G.I. Joe 3 3/4 figures.
Oh, yeah.
And it
Hasbro.
last night I actually saw the second G.I. Joe movie.
That's the one with the Rock in it, right?
Yeah, it had decent visuals, solid costumes, but it was it was mixed with poor acting, choppy direction, screenplay that was was kind of boring,
So,
also
so basically, it's the first movie all over again.
The first movie, honestly, was slightly better. You know what I mean? It's definitely a blow to
Was that
fans,
bad?
and something that was so huge in the mid to late '80s. It's definitely a blow. But
Yeah. And I would say the only cool thing about, I would think, which I'm not sure if he was in the first one, but I know in the second one, Ray Parks, which is Darth Maul, plays Snake Eyes. I don't know if
which you would never know because
Well,
he
he's-
doesn't speak and he has a mask on
Sure,
the whole time.
of course, but
That's his role.
that's his role. But I don't know if he actually played him in the first one. If you know if Ray Parks played Snake Eyes in the first G.I. Joe movie, give us a call. The number is 201-580-3712. That's 201-580-3712. If you know if Ray Parks played Snake Eyes in the first G.I. Joe.
It's it's a disappointment because the figures, they were such a big deal when I was younger. Like,
yeah.
I don't know about you, but my favorite figure, the one, oh my god, like I went through Arm & N just to get the 1984 Storm Shadow.
Okay.
I traded in about 53 G.I. Joes.
Non-swivel arm you're talking about. Just
Non-swivel arm.
straight up and down.
Came with the bow pack.
Right.
Bow pack,
They
you
have the
open up the
carry
little
action?
pack and then have the arrows in it
No.
and everything.
They
Had a
didn't
little
even have.
open
They didn't
pack,
have Kung Fu grip yet
Kung Fu
either.
grip, yeah.
No, it was the first one. He had the the second one was the one with the gray camo.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looked the 1980 version or whatever. But yeah, I got jumped in an alleyway for that figure.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's serious. That's hardcore. That's
People
hardcore.
took their GI Joe seriously.
Yeah, back in the day, sure.
They did. And the Storm Shadow, I think now is worth like $600 on card. It's worth a lot of mojo. But what was your favorite figure?
My favorite figures. I can't say I can't just pick one. I like. Well, I guess I could pick one because he's the one we started on. I like Zartan. It was always my favorite because I was always a big Dreadnought.
Big Dreadnought fan.
Yeah,
So
I
you
love the
liked,
Dreadnoughts.
what were their names? There was Road Pig. There was
Well, original 3 was Torch, Ripper, and Buzzsaw.
yeah.
And then the second wave of Dreadnoughts came in around the time where they introduced Serpentor and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And
87.
I think that was Thrasher, Zorana. I don't remember. The brother's name was something.
The twins, right?
No.
They
The
weren't-
twins are Tomax and Zaymot.
They
bro.
weren't. They weren't.
Yeah.
part
No,
of
that's
the
Crimson
squad?
Guard.
Oh,
That's a
those
whole
Crimson
Yeah,
other.
they got nothing.
That's
to
a
do
whole
with
other
it right now.
subplot of Cobra. You
Then
know
they
what I
had
mean?
Cobra La, a whole different
Yeah, yeah,
fucking.
Which was the movie, man. The movie
yeah,
was killer.
It was. Yep.
That movie was killer. Don
Galubulus,
Johnson.
Galubulus, Royal Guard, and Nemesis Enforcer, man.
Nemesis
And they had Sergeant
Badass.
Slaughter. In
Sergeant
one of
Slaughter
those,
was
right?
in that one too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was your favorite figure, Mike?
G.I. Joe really wasn't my thing. When I was growing up, I
come
was
on.
I
Where
would,
were
I would
you?
play with Dave's shit. He
That's
would beat
true.
me up for
And I
playing with
would.
this stuff.
Don't touch my stuff.
And what were you playing with though?
For me,
Yeah, everything.
I
You
had,
had everything.
I had a lot of GI Joes, bro.
Yeah, man. See,
I mean-
so you were playing with them, so obviously you liked them.
Yeah, but I didn't have like a
He didn't have a
favorite.
choice though.
Yeah.
I gave him the crappy guys.
Did you? The ones that
The
had
ones that were
different
broke.
arms and different legs.
Yeah, because you know
Had
you
the
know
rubber
you
band
chose
switched
people
out
apart.
500
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
I know.
Or you just had the half guy who didn't
Yeah.
have any arms and legs.
Yeah.
I
Stayed
have
at the
no
bottom of
legs.
the pile.
Yeah, you know, I had like 7 I have no legs Cobra troopers, you know what I mean? And they
That's
were
when
always
you
some
twist them up, and then you let them on the
Oh, yeah,
table, and
they-
they do little,
they spin around.
capoeira kick flips and shit.
Capoeira with me yesterday.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, that was some funny stuff though. The
They were,
G.I. Joe
they were
guys,
fun to
man.
stick a firecracker in the middle too, and
Well,
then
see,
they explode
and
outward.
here's the kicker part now, right? Think about how much damage you've done to the toys you had when you were a
God.
kid, right?
Oh, God.
And then you look
Seriously,
today at
man.
the collector's market for
How
action
much they're
figures
worth.
and
Yeah,
toys,
yeah.
and it'll literally make you want to throw up. Because
Yeah,
I was born in without giving my age away in the mid '70s, right? And
Let's say late.
I had
56?
whatever '70s. I'll just say '70s. And so Star Wars was a huge part of my childhood with toys, and I had tons and tons of them guys, man. And the abuse I did, bottle rockets, you know, the M80, the classic firework 4th of July. Let's
The
see
hells
if
yeah, man. I
the
know
Millennium
those.
Falcon
I know
can
those.
really go through, an asteroid field.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Pulling a little Napoleon Dynamite with the string behind the bus.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, the whole thing.
Hey,
And,
Dave, do you want me to answer your question about Ray Park or not?
Yeah, I'd like that.
He is Snake Eyes.
He is Snake Eyes in the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah, see,
Dun, dun, dun.
I to me, I loved him as Darth Maul too. But I like him.
Wait, are you asking? Okay, no, because I just checked it out on IMDb. He's Snake Eyes in the second one. I didn't check the first one. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, I definitely knew he was Snake Eyes in the second one. I'm not sure, and that's the question I pose to the fans
Do
if they're
you-
out there or friends of the show, anybody listening.
Do you see the major coincidence between those two characters?
Oh yeah, they're straight up 100% kung fu based characters.
No. Neither one talks.
Yeah, well, the guy can't.
That's
Neither
not
one
true.
fucking talk. Darth Maul doesn't talk.
Yes, he does, 100%. When he says to the Emperor in Episode 1, something about revealing ourselves to the Jedi.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
he
the
has
thing he says
one
through the movie?
line.
I think so.
That guy was given specific instructions to only have one line because he's a horrible actor. And by the way, yes, he is.
Oh shit. Now it unveils.
Well, hey, just because you can't act and you're good at kung fu doesn't necessarily make you a bad actor, does it?
Yeah,
you can
but-
still do it on camera.
By the way, he is Snake Eyes in the first one as well.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
Well, he
So he's a badass fucking fighter, basically.
oh yeah, he'll
meet him in the alley,
he'll
he'll
fuck
kick
you up in
ass.
real life. Like he's a no joke dude. Like he's got belts and shit. Like he's a serious type of dude.
That guy who plays Stormshot is pretty badass too.
And he,
Like I said, it's unfortunate the movies
I-
are so horribly written
Well,
and
and I-
directed, because
you know,
the characters are cool.
because you're telling me this makes me not want to see the movie. But the bad part is I know I'll eventually see that movie just
I'll
to
let
see
you
how
borrow it. You don't have
crappy
to
it
pay
is
any money
myself.
for it.
You know
It's
what I
not-
mean?
it's
Because
not
sometimes you
shitty.
can't always
like
take
it's
people's
works,
word
man.
for how a movie is. Because there's tons of movies that I love that my brother doesn't like. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and vice versa.
It's kind of like, you remember how the Mummy movies were? They're fun to watch while you're going to sleep or something, but they're not.
See, we have an opposite view. I love the first Mummy was a great flick, dude. How can you?
It's great in that way.
That was like
It's
Brendan
great in that
Fraser
way.
at his best. Like, you know what I mean? That, or what's the other one he's in? What
That's
is that?
The third
Encino
one's
Man
bad.
or something?
No, Airheads.
Airheads. There you go.
No, he was in Encino Man.
I know he was in Encino.
Yeah, but he was-
that
he
could've
was
been his
he
brother.
was
Doesn't he
better
have,
in
like, a twin
Airheads.
brother or something.
Nah.
Oh, who's that? I'm thinking of. That's the London dude.
Well, who are you trying to think of?
Who's got a twin brother that they both act and they look like almost the same?
Owen Wilson. The Wilsons.
Not the Will. I would know them, and they don't look anything alike. What do you mean?
Yeah, they do. They look
One
the
dude's got a
same to me.
big-ass nose and blonde hair, and the other dude's all like brown and shit. I just seen a flick with him in it though, not Owen, the other one.
Luke.
The other Luke Wilson. What the hell was the name of that movie? It was about like he ends up like getting cryogenically frozen or something. Ideology or something like that. Man, that was hysterical.
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. That's what it was. What a funny movie, dude.
No, wait, those guys. No, wait. Then I'm thinking of the wrong people. Those two aren't twins, are they?
Jeremy London and the other London kid. I think they are twins.
I didn't know there was two of them.
There is two of them. I think one of them is like an artist. Like he does act, but he's also like a musician and shit.
Which one was on Seventh Heaven?
Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven.
Jeremy London, I think.
Jeremy London.
Fag. Yeah, but he was even a fag in Mallrats. He was my least favorite character.
And he was in
I just
Mallrats
watched it
as
for
well.
Brody. Brody should have been the main character all the way. Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, somebody told me, which I don't know, could be an urban myth or something, but somebody tried telling me, right? And telling me this. And the fact that I don't know this is one of these, like, when we're done with the show, I'm probably going to look this up because it's been bothering me. And I probably should have done it before.
Just tell me to look it up. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Look it up, man. He's our encyclopedia, man.
Encyclopedia Britannica. You know which, by the way, this year was the last year they're ever making that?
Really?
They're discontinuing the Encyclopedia Britannica because...
Not relevant to the show. Move on.
What? I'm just saying.
No, I want to talk about encyclopedia.
But anyway, I want you to look up if Jason Lee is Stan Lee's kid.
What?
That's what somebody told me, and I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" And he's
All
like,
right.
"Oh no,
All
man."
right. Give me a few seconds, all right?
Yeah,
There's no way.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think so."
That would explain a lot.
But Jason Lee, before he became an actor, he was a pro skateboarder. He used to skate for blind.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So I mean, he can do other things, obviously, than act. But like,
is this from a credible source?
It is from a credible. It's from a credible source in my realm.
In my life, been out of the bag by now, dude. There's no way. No way.
Maybe it is just downplayed. Maybe, you know, who knows? I don't know. That's a weird thing, though. You know what I mean? But anyway, so
what about new school stuff, like
new school toys that I like.
Any of the new stuff.
See, the problem for me is I like when they take the old thing and make it new.
Well, like the Turtles, man. Those are pretty badass now.
Some of the Turtles are pretty cool now.
The original ones compared to the new ones, the articulation is just ridiculous.
Do you know
at this point,
out of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil is still worth the most money on card out of all of them?
Really? On card?
Still, after all this time.
You idiots. How dare you idiots.
Here, dead air time, Mike, read this.
Dead air time, let's do it.
You just got 5 seconds to understand what it says, and if you don't, you just got to say the words.
Go.
Behold my DB nest.
Say it again.
Behold my DB nest.
You're a penis.
Behold my D penis. What?
He's a freak.
All right. So anyway,
back to what we were talking about.
Dave. It doesn't look like he is.
Who?
It doesn't look like Jason Lee is Stan Lee's son here. Because
I didn't think so. I was like, that doesn't seem right to me.
I mean, it would come up in the Wikipedia or the trivia on IMDb almost immediately.
Yeah.
It just sounded funny.
No, I didn't think it was right, but I'm good.
Just say this real quick.
Really?
Just say it.
I can't say that. My brain can't work that way. It doesn't work for me. Them things never do. I can never. I'm like the fat guy in Mallrats. I can't like look at that picture, that 3D. I'll never see. I've never seen.
You don't have to figure it out. Just say the words. Just say the words.
Behold my DP nest. Urkel. I don't know. But anyway, we saw Wolverine Friday, right?
Behold the mighty penis, man.
Okay.
Jesus.
The mighty penis.
All right.
That makes more sense now.
It does.
See, I can see it now after you said it.
Right.
Just like them pictures, when they're pointed out to me, I could see them, but just looking at it by myself.
It's not a schooner, it is a sailboat.
Thanks, Dick.
But yeah, me and Dave saw Wolverine.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Was it? I'm surprised.
a lot of things that was...
some of the acting was suspect, right? Not from Hugh Jackman, but just from supporting cast. There was
villains, though. Villains. Were they generic made-up villains?
No.
Or were they actual villains?
No, they're actual comic villains.
Yeah.
I mean,
From when?
Well, from taking place from the story. I mean, that's the one thing I'm going to say is that one thing I loved about the movie is that they really did stay very comic book accurate.
That's good.
Coming down to like the story that they were trying to tell,
What villains?
They told the story of when he goes back to Japan and meets Yoriko and gets married, kind of finds the samurai way and stuff like that, which was written by Frank Miller. It was a 4-issue limited series, came out in '82. One of my favorites. Some of the villains, though, that they added to it, but are still in the Wolverine realm of things, is Viper. I don't know if you know her. She's from Manderpool. That's the island that he goes to when he goes on.
You hit me with a character I
Patch.
do not know, man.
Yeah.
I do not know. Never
Look
heard
her
of
up, bro. She's a mutant, obviously.
freaky bitch.
She's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
What's her power?
She's
She,
a Viper.
Yeah, she would like
Period.
lick
She
you
is.
and like install you.
Well,
with
Really? It's like that, huh?
She's a Viper, yeah. Like
She had this
literally.
crazy tongue that came out and like licked your face.
Yeah, snake style.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Poison Ivy of Marvel.
Kind
Not
of.
really, though.
She looked Poison Ivy-ish.
Yeah.
She was dressed green.
Well, that's her.
Yeah.
In the comics, she's always in green.
Yeah.
And then they introduced Wolverine's little like I don't know. I want to say child friend from Manderpool as
He had
well.
a friend? Really?
Yeah, but they introduced her, but they like wrote her into a story she was never in. You know what I mean? And then they did a Silver Samurai, but it really wasn't.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and you were right, but
There was Silver Samurai?
it was, but it wasn't because it was
like
like
a
Silver.
robot.
It was like literally.
Was he called Silver Samurai?
Yes, but it wasn't the Silver Samurai that
we know?
from
It looked
the
like him
comics.
to me. I don't
It
know.
was-
In the
it was-
commercial, that's why I said.
Yeah, but it was the father, which in the story it was never the father. It was not even part of. He's just a dude in the clan. He's a warrior.
Yeah.
You know, and the armor, which that's what I'm calling it. Because it literally was like Silver fucking Iron Man 10. You know what I mean? Like it was,
It was very
samurai
Iron Man-esque.
style Iron Man is what,
Right,
it
right.
reminded me of. And that was something that kind of annoyed me.
So they were mooching Iron Man a little bit.
They definitely straight up made it like an exoskeleton,
Yeah.
which it never was. It was just a dope piece of old
Yeah.
school
Dope-ass
samurai,
samurai
armor
metal
made
armor.
of adamantium, mind you, which they did.
But this robot thing was
The robot
pretty
was
badass.
made of adamantium and all too. So I mean that was cool.
It had
did
this,
have a
like,
sword.
Wait, robot.
that-
So Silver
Well, not
Samurai
not
was
the
a
guy
robot?
I'm
was
sorry,
built
not a
into
robot,
the-
exoskeleton.
Yeah, into the exoskeleton.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got
it was like an Iron Man
I got
armor.
you.
He's inside the Iron Man armor.
So no
controlling.
superpowers, anything like
No.
that.
No.
He was just built into a fucking
Yeah,
an actual suit.
yeah.
Hey, Dave, I got a question for you about the movie.
Shoot.
Okay, now this is towards the end. I don't know if I want to give it away. What happens to Wolverine's claws at the end? Should I say this or not?
If they didn't see it yet, it's their bad. They missed it, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'd let it go.
I think it's been a long
Yeah, I
time.
think it's been.
Please tell me Thanos
tell
came
him.
and turned into rubber or
Okay,
something.
now, so
No.
the Silver
That'd be-
Samurai somehow heats up his sword and cuts off Wolverine's adamantium claws.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
now, so he's got one set now with adamantium, one is just the cartilage or whatever he originally had.
Bone.
Crazy.
Bone.
Now, is that in the comic? Does he later get it back? I mean, because he.
Well, in the comics, actually, at one point in the I want to say mythos of Wolverine, he loses all his adamantium.
Yeah, Magneto
That's
pulls it
when
all
the
out.
comic world found out that he actually had bone claws. Like for the longest time. See, I mean, Wolverine's a very interesting character when you look at him, as a character and the time frame he's been around. I mean, most people associate him with the X-Men. His first appearance wasn't even in an X-Men comic. It was in the Hulk, issue 181, pinnacle book. Like great book too. I would love to own that book too.
That's
I don't-
where he faced Hulk as an enemy.
That's where he was
their
not
first
really an
battle.
enemy but he fought the Hulk and Wendigo. But later on in the
But
X-Men
also
days,
the Hulk fought Wendigo also.
yeah, it was like a triple.
three-on,
It was like
like a
a
threesome.
like a
little
lucha
menage a
match.
trois.
Yeah,
Me and you and Heineken.
right. So Magneto ends up pulling all the adamantium out of his body, and I think
badass.
that's
That's something I'd
that's-
always-
no.
that's
That's
something I'd always
Fatal
wanted to see.
Attractions
Fatal Attraction. That's what it was.
in X-Men. I want
have
to say
that comic.
X-Men issue 20.
That was
I
the
want
one
to say
that
it's
had the hologram.
25. I could
Yeah,
be wrong
I have
about
that
the
one.
number.
Yeah, they had the holograms on
hologram
them,
cover.
Are
Yeah.
those worth anything? these
Classic.
days?
No, it's classic 90s. That
Yeah.
time frame to a comic book fan of my age almost killed the medium. Like the
Yeah.
90s almost killed comics.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? I got an interesting story about that. The guy,
Shoot, what is it?
the guy who sold me my house was head of production at Marvel Comics during that time,
Oh, jeez.
and
Oh, like the movie house productions.
and I asked him because I collected comics for that very reason when I was about 13 years old because I thought they were all going to go up in money.
Right.
and value. And
So yeah, you were basically collecting in the speculator time frame.
exactly. And
Okay.
I asked him, I said, well, why are all these comics that I have with hologram covers, foil covers, everything like that, worth absolutely nothing? He goes, well, we knew idiots like you were collecting them, so we just flooded the market.
Exactly. Yeah. They flooded the market and almost killed the business too at the same time. Because then once everybody realized, once they went to go, I'm going to go to college. I've been collecting comics since I'm in the 6th grade now. I'm now 18 years old. I'm going to go trade my comics in to go to college. And they find out that, the freaking comics ain't even worth the cover price that they bought them when they bought them.
Do you remember what happened with Death of Superman?
Oh,
Everybody
that
made
was
this giant fiasco.
That is one of
about
the
it.
most infamous,
Is that worth anything?
No, that's not
nothing,
worth,
right?
That's
so
not worth.
There's so many made. So many.
Do
Made.
you know how many variations of that book there are?
How many?
The white cover.
I want to say there's
black cover.
five.
No, the white one was the funeral.
No, there's 4 of them. I have all 4 of them.
Do you have the
There was
bloody,
the death. There was
bloody
funeral
black?
of a friend.
I have all. I have like triplicate copies just so I could read them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So, wait.
everybody did that.
So there's 4 variations of just Death of Superman,
Yeah.
not funeral.
Not
but-
funeral. And then there's pretty much death. Funeral was, I think, through all of his books, they did a special covers for all that shit too.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they flooded the market.
Well, I remember
with all that
funeral
shit,
had the
man.
white wrapping on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there must have been a variation.
Well, no, I think most of the
There was
deaths
a white
were all.
wrapping, a black wrapping, and then was it silver?
No, there was a black bag. Then there's the
black
black
was-
bag bloodied.
Yeah. With the
Which
blood
is,
all
I
around
think,
the S, right?
out of all, I think the only book that's worth a little bit more than anything
That's
else
the one I have.
is the black
Bloodied one.
bag bloodied.
It came with a bandana.
But it can't
and,
be opened. It has to be sealed.
Right.
Like having it open is just like having it open. It doesn't matter.
What
at
is it
that
worth
point.
anyway?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say $3.
No, I think it's $4.50. I think it was only about
$4.50?
I think
Yeah.
I think I checked a Wizard's Guide about 6 months ago, and I think it said $4.50.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know, it's like the other day when I was looking at
I mean,
my
that's
favorite
about
run.
how much you paid for it at the time.
Yeah, exactly. That was cover price.
But it's like my favorite run of all time. Like we were talking about last week, the Gauntlet series. They're worth $3 a piece.
Yeah.
It's so sad, and it was such a popular story.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing story. It's worth
Right
shit,
now,
you know?
not to try to coax you back into reading comics or anything, but right now they're actually going to be they're bringing Thanos back because a couple of years ago he kind of somewhat for the first time showed him a different side of him as a character, which you probably wouldn't like because you like the
I like the evil
classic
Thanos.
evil.
Hell yeah.
He ended up giving his life for the universe or whatever it was in a
Thanos
situation,
is dead,
right?
man.
So,
no, sir.
but anyway, so now they're bringing him back in this thing called Infinity, which is I think actually currently running right now in Marvel Comics. I want to say they may be 2 or 3 issues into that series right now, and they're basically bringing him back in a big way.
Have you?
I have not been able to pick up any of them yet because I haven't been able to make it to my guy. So once I'm able to do that, get a little scratch together, and appropriate myself some comics.
My guy.
Right now,
it sounds like a drug
I've been
deal.
on the hunt for old stuff. For some reason,
Yeah.
I'm addicted to the Defenders right now. I can't get past it. Yeah,
That's your geeky pleasure.
that's one of my geeky pleasures. I would say my other geeky pleasure would be Dungeons and Dragons, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember you Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Used to,
I still do.
You still
I
do.
still do it.
I think mine's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. I collected them when I was growing up. Played the hell out of them. Was just banging. Remember we threw the Technodrome
Through your mom's window? Yeah, she
window.
flipped, man. She flipped. That was all
that's
Russ
right.
Wallace, wasn't it?
No, it was Cody.
Was it Cody?
That's right, it was Cody. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was like one of the many sleepovers you had as a kid.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Turtles are fun, but then
The one that
the
I
ones
couldn't
came
make
out
because I
with,
was
though.
grounded.
What's that?
I was fucking punished and I couldn't make it. I was so pissed. Yeah, your house
It's a
was
good
the
thing.
best back in the
It's
day,
a good
man.
thing. I kicked everybody out afterwards.
Yeah,
I
and
was like,
everybody
"Get
got
out."
They got kicked
kicked
out that night?
Yeah.
No, my mom
No.
made me keep them in the house. But either
But it
way,
was a bad night.
It was a
wasn't.
bad night.
Yeah. All right, good.
What's your geeky pleasure?
Dude, I'd have to say totally off, the whole topic. My total geeky pleasure is definitely the band Mr. Bungle. People call me crazy for being obsessed with them, but I love anything Mike Patton. And Mr. Bungle is definitely geeky. If you ever
Mr.
listen.
Bundle.
It's totally insane music. It's really technical and fucking nuts, but it's definitely on the geeky side.
Is it
You know Mike Patton from Faith No More?
Oh, okay, no.
You want it all, but
Yeah,
you
yeah, no,
can't.
I know Faith No More.
That's Mike
yeah.
Patton. It's
That's
another
the lead
band.
singer you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's my absolute fucking god of an idol. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that's one of his other bands. And,
All right.
that's definitely my geeky pleasure. Anytime I
Sweet.
listen to him, people look at me like I'm nuts.
All right.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That's-
so if you have a geeky pleasure, we want to know what it is.
Yeah, give us a call. The number's 201-580-3712. That number again is
201-580-3712. We have any callers coming in or what?
No, probably not right now.
This
By the
week's
way, I
slow,
think
huh?
in the next 5 minutes we're going to be playing our movie clip of the episode, and this month is Stan Lee month. So, if in 5 minutes when we play this clip, you know what movie it's from, give us a call. The number again is 201-580-3712, and you'll win nothing but the
It's out
knowledge.
of the gazillion appearances Stan Lee made in his
Yeah.
movies. So if you could actually guess this one, you're pretty incredible.
Yeah, you're on the incredible side of
You're
things.
special to me and my heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Incredibles.
Ain't that
Yeah.
right, Grizzly?
Grizzly Adams.
For all of you that don't know, my friend Mike is quite grizzly.
Yeah, he is.
Grizzly.
He's rocking almost like a half a Duck Dynasty.
Well, Dave, you've been grizzly too at times.
No,
not now.
No,
after the
not now.
Wolverine
Right
movie,
now, I'm rocking a Wolverine.
He's got the Wolverine.
I
look.
got the Wolverine chops going on. It's pretty sweet.
It was like the day after, dude. He came to the house. He's
Yeah,
like,
the
wasn't
movie,
the day
movie rubbed that
he
off on
wanted to- he wanted to go. That's what he wanted to do when he saw me. I was like, "Oh, bro, you got the."
When I was
Wait, Dave.
Mr. Fury.
Dave,
I did the berserker on him last night.
Nice.
No.
Sneaky,
What's up, bro?
Am I understanding this right? You went to see the Wolverine movie and immediately started patterning your look after it?
Yeah. Yes, I did. But also,
That's a true geek.
But
man.
look, in my defense, also, mind you, I did the next day, that Saturday. Me and my girlfriend were at the house. We were supposed to be doing stuff and all, and I just, for whatever reason, I'm flipping through the channel, just find something stupid. It's a background noise, and freaking Gangs of New York was just starting. And I'm like, oh, it's right in the beginning where, all the chaos happens.
They're all
and
walking at it
and
on
straight
each
up,
other,
it's also
yeah.
like a half of Bill the Butcher. You know what I mean? The only thing I don't got going on now is, like, I don't think Bill the Butcher had a mustache going on with it, so...
Now you just really need to grow your hair out, man, and do the little points on each
I've been
end.
busting my girlfriend's chops before I
So
cut my hair.
Daniel
Hold on, I'll do it.
Day-Lewis. So you're hiding behind the fact that Daniel Day-Lewis is your excuse.
No, it's also a reason. I have multiple reasons for doing the thing that I did.
I think you're just muddying the waters.
Nobody knows Dave's reasoning.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know it. To be honest with you, also it boils down to I'm a pretty hairy guy, and it gets boring doing the same stuff after a while. You got to change it up every once in a while.
But that's life. Yeah, you
Yeah.
just gotta change it up.
That's one of the
Change it.
pleasures about being extra hairy. There's a lot of styles, a lot of different things you could do with your.
I don't know. I
with your
think it
hairiness.
sucks being extra hairy because
Yeah.
how much are freaking razors, man? That's like a monopoly that somebody should go after and be like, hey, there's no reason why it should cost us freaking $24 for four
$25
Yeah,
freaking
for
razors.
fucking razors. I know.
That's why I'm like, I don't even use that shit.
Well, you also.
I'll use a scissor.
Well, also different from me though. You could use one of them electric joints, right?
Use a scissor.
Scissor.
Want a scissor?
Want a scissor? Oh, yeah.
I get
So-
like Rambo when scissors come near me. Just
Yeah.
can't handle
No
the,
running with scissors.
sharpness. Yeah.
Oh, also, I'd like everybody to go check out the sneak peek trailer.
Oh yeah, of X-Men.
Of
Which looks like
X-Men,
it had nothing
Days
to
of
do with
Future
anything
Past.
from what you showed me. I don't know if that was the accurate trailer that I was supposed to see, but I didn't see anything of any X-Men-ish.
No, well, it's not supposed to
didn't see
be.
it then.
It's supposed to be Traskish.
Yeah.
Traskish?
Traskish.
What's that?
You see the Sentinel in it, Toombs.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Then I
you
didn't
see
watch
the-
it that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the Sentinel in it at the
Twice.
very end. All right.
That was
The
a
back of it,
okay.
and
Yeah,
then
you see the back of it. You see the back of it when they're on the beach, and then you see the glowing eyes
Yeah.
towards the end. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool looking.
Oh yeah, the fact
That's
that
gonna be a good-
also
good clip, probably.
I was perusing the net. I caught a couple sneak peeks of some of the characters that they're going to be in the movie, and they were showing a sneak peek of Bishop, but I didn't catch the guy's name. But it definitely the dude that they had like in costume was definitely Bishop-esque, except for the color scheme wasn't right.
Did he have the M on his eye?
Yeah, he had the M on the eye, the whole kit and caboodle, the dreadlocks and everything. And it was pretty cool looking, but the color scheme wasn't right. Like, he was, I think... But see, then again, I could just be thinking of the cartoon and not the comic.
Yeah.
Because I remember he was a big part of that cartoon, too.
Yeah,
I'd like to see.
Wasn't he yellow? Wasn't he yellow and blue?
I want to say he was yellow and blue, but I don't know. That could have just been in that
Blue-
90s
blue.
cartoon.
Yeah, well, he was blue and he had that scarf around his neck, right?
I think the scarf was red.
It was red.
But that could have been his sister, Shard, who ended up dying
No, I'm pretty
when
sure
they came over.
Pretty
But,
sure
I
he
mean,
had
I
the
don't-
scarf on his.
Yeah.
And he had the M, and he was in blue.
So we were gonna talk about real quick too, like a roundtable question for everybody out there, the listeners and us. What's your favorite cartoons? Like, I know for me, like cartoons and action figures and comics for me as a kid all kind of went together.
Yeah, they were like they were meshed.
know,
They're all one.
Because a lot of the same things they crossed over at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I had Thundercat toys, which was probably one of my favorite cartoons.
I had a lot of Thundercat stuff too.
I mean,
I like the
obviously,
Spidey 90s.
We were just talking about G.I. Joe before.
Yeah, G.I. Joe cartoon. It was hard for me to get up in the morning to see it, though. You remember how it was always on in the morning?
Yeah,
Like
when it
7
first
o'clock
came
in the
out.
fucking morning?
Well, see,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a little older than you guys, but when I remember me, grammar school, running home, like to make sure that I didn't miss, G.I. Joe, and then the show that used to follow it, which was like Silverhawks or something like that.
Oh yeah, Silverhawks, man.
That was a
Those
cool
were
show.
dope toys too.
Yeah. Oh, they were really cool toys. Yeah.
I like the Spidey's 90s.
The 90s Spidey. Well, also
and the
the
X-Men.
the
and all
90
the ones that
X-Men.
they just did all.
Well, see,
like,
I don't like.
Calvin
I
Bun.
can't say all of them.
I like them
because
all.
the ones that happened on like Channel 9, UPN, and all that stuff, the Iron Man show.
Guys, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it is time for the for the quote. You ready?
Oh, okay, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do the quote.
Let's do the quote, everybody. Let's listen.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice try.
really, I'm
Nice try.
Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Marvel cameo is that?
So if you know the answer,
give us
please
a call.
call in 201-580-3712.
All right, I'm gonna play it one more time.
Play it one more time for them.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice try.
really, I'm
Nice try.
Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And if you guys,
really?
if you guys know the answer, don't blurt
Type
it
it in
out.
into,
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We won't just blurt it out.
Just instant
blurt
message
it
me.
out?
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
do
gonna
that
blurt it.
technology thing. Hey, you want to laugh there, Stinkfist? You know what I did for the first time on Tuesday? I basically, for the first time ever, was able to use this thing called
the Power Glove?
No, FaceTime.
Oh God, that was so funny.
It was pretty cool. I never.
Now we're
like-
talking about Dave here, Mr. Disconnected from any kind of
Well,
social media.
Yeah,
or
I'm not friends with
tech-
any of that
tech
stuff.
savvy.
I'm not a tech savvy guy. I'm
He
very
is
old school.
The epitome of old man against.
I'm old man River.
Yeah, but not when it
Future.
comes to video games. Though.
No, well, there's certain things you got to keep up with. I mean,
Exactly.
obviously. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're talking on FaceTime with our aunt. She's in California.
Yeah, it was that was
And
pretty
Dave's
funny.
sitting there. He sits back for a second. He was like, "I can't believe this right now.
Yeah, it was
this
like
is amazing. This
felt
is,
like,
I can't even believe it right now."
I felt like this is like sci-fi come true in my house. Like, you know what I mean?
And that was your aunt,
My Annette.
Annette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hilarious stuff.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
she sat in the center. She sat in the corner of the table the whole night.
Yeah. till my cousin's phone
Yeah,
died.
because
Bang.
it was Dave's birthday.
Yeah.
One more year.
Yeah, add another year.
Well, Annette, if you're listening to the show again, we love you.
Yeah,
Yes,
no
we
doubt.
Thanks for the compliment.
Also for me, which is probably for you guys, I don't know if you guys will remember these shows, but I love Johnny Quest, classic Hanna-Barbera. Also,
I was always anti-Hanna-Barbera.
Really?
I don't know why. I just there's
Wacky
something-
Race is a great cartoon, bro. All
I
them
don't know
dudes in
what
the
it was,
wacky
man.
cars.
Rocky fucking Bullwinkle.
Well, I wasn't a big fan of Rocky and Bullwinkle, but there's
Rocky
some
Bullwinkle sucked. I like
I
the
couldn't stand it.
Herculoids were Hanna-Barbera. That was a dope cartoon.
the Herculoids. That was with the Pegasus looking.
Pegasus. There was like that dude that was kind of like a cheesy
wasn't
ripoff
really-
of Thundar.
Thundar.
but-
That was the other
Well,
one.
Thundar the Barbarian was
Barbarian, yeah.
hands down probably one of my. That and Johnny Quest were my favorite Hanna-Barberas, and that's like 70s time.
I always found the humor to be very stale and dry. You know
It
what I
wasn't,
mean?
and like I remember telling my girlfriend about this cartoon, and she was like, "Oh yeah, let's watch it." We sat and watched it and all, and never realized how like sexist it was until
Yeah.
I watched it again as an adult.
Maybe I should try watching it as an adult.
Yeah,
I mean, besides Scooby-Doo, I love Scooby-Doo.
Well, it's
because that was the time, though.
yeah, but it's like the
It's
animation.
not-
The animation for the time was awesome, but
time
watching
was-
it now, you're like, wow, am I really going to be able to sit through all this? And I did as a kid, and even at my, where I'm at now as an adult, I don't know, like I did sit through it because I wanted to be nostalgic, but I was like, this really sucks. Like I'd rather
That
put in
happens to
something
most
else,
cartoons when you sit back
like the
and
Justice
over.
League, another one of my favorite cartoons. Like, and I'm not a big DC guy, but the one thing I can say about DC, better than Marvel, in one aspect, and that's cartoons, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I agree there.
Marvel's put out a couple of good cartoons here or there, like series. Also, a couple of like good right to DVD movies. But DC steadily is constantly putting right to DVD movies out. And if you think about it, what DC cartoon hasn't been good? With the exception of maybe the 70s Super Friends, but that can be argued,
Yeah, I don't really know many that aren't good. 'Cause
Right.
most
I mean,
of them
think about
are
it. Think of them; they're all pretty good,
decent.
even for DC characters that because we're all Marvel biased here at this
Yeah.
table. We don't really dig on, but to somebody else, it may be the best thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been having somebody wanting to have us do a Green Arrow episode.
A Green Arrow episode.
Yeah, and
Of what?
I'm
Like, what
just
am I going to
of-
say?
Yeah, who knows? There's not enough
all
shows
Green
about
Arrow?
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow. There is. If you go back,
There is, I'm sure, but I mean,
historically, Green Arrow, a very important character.
Yeah.
In DC and in
but he
comics,
sucks,
because
in my opinion.
well, DC, Green Arrow, in my opinion, is basically another fake city. Like, that's the one thing I love about Marvel. Takes place in New York City.
Right.
Takes place in America. Takes
Yeah.
place in places we know. DC, everything's pretty much made up. There ain't no fucking Metropolis.
Yeah, there's no Gotham.
There ain't no Gotham.
But they're all the same city.
They're no
They're
Star
supposed to be the
City.
Same, like,
And I don't know. I don't remember where Flash is from. I don't know where
Metropolis?
Flash is from. I don't know. Flash is from another fake city, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah. There's, Marvel does a good job, though.
When you guys,
but DC does a way better job with
Yeah,
cartoons.
they
in
do
my
good with the
opinion.
cartoons. But I personally, Batman, the animated series, DC, is my favorite cartoon.
when you guys were talking before about your
In the
favorite
90s.
cartoons in the 90s, I didn't get a chance to mention, I really loved, going totally off, I love Liquid Television's Aeon Flux.
Oh, yeah, Aeon Flux.
Love
was
it. Those
awesome.
are my favorite 90s
Just
cartoons.
just Liquid Television by itself was good.
It
too.
was cool.
'Cause if
It
you
was
remember,
cool, but
Didn't they make a
really,
movie of that, right?
Liquid
Yeah,
Television
well,
was where
they made
Beavis
a
and
movie
Butthead
of it,
and
but-
Aeon Flux came from.
yeah.
But Beavis and Butthead, the first like Frog Baseball, those were the first original episodes.
Yeah.
Also,
the Max
The Max.
was
Yes.
on Liquid
Yes.
Television as
Yeah,
well.
it was.
Which
Max
is
was awesome.
like an indie image comic, 90s property.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
MTV had some good shit back in the day, man.
Oh yeah.
Yo MTV Raps, fucking what was that other show they had?
Oh well, see, I love rap
Now it's
music.
all just
so.
reality BS,
Yeah, it's
right?
They don't even show
Garbage.
videos anymore.
Yeah. You gotta go
On
to
MTV.
2.
You got to go to 2. There's
Two.
2 of them now. Huh?
2.
That's funny.
It's a waste of time.
That is funny. Oh, and I also am a big fan of a lot of Japanese anime, and for me, Robotech was one of my favorite series from when I was a kid.
Now, do you guys
Always-
want to know
always
something
loved
interesting about the Batman series in the 90s?
Sure.
Okay, because my friend was an animator, and well, he is an animator. He does all the Ice Age movie animation.
Oh, that's cool.
He learned that they had to draw everything on black paper for that
For Batman.
for the Batman series.
Really?
Yeah.
That would explain why it was so
Why it was so dark? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, funny thing about that too, the guy in some of this comic news that I have about things that are coming out and stuff like that. There's going to be a new Hulk cartoon coming out on Disney XD called Hulk Agent of Smash, and Paul Dini, the guy that did the Batman the animated series with I think Tim Bruce, he's doing this cartoon. But then I also learned that he's done like tons of other stuff. Like he wrote a lot of episodes for Animaniacs. Great cartoon that was. But yeah, and he also was co-creator of Harley Quinn.
The character herself?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that was Harley Quinn is one of them, like one of the
90s brought to
two
life, right?
female characters ever. Because Marvel has one too, but was the first. I mean, Harley Quinn was obviously the first one because of the time frame. But yeah, she was made specifically for Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And then people loved her so much they actually incorporated her into the comics. And actually, right now too, they're going to be real. She's going to get her own book. And I think they're launching that either this week or next week. And they totally revamped her look and all. She kind of looks like a roller derby chick now.
Oh, yeah.
That leads me to an interesting question you can pose to your listeners.
What's that?
Or you could.
No, who was the only character on the X-Men 90 series that was created specifically for the cartoon?
I know that.
That stupid character with the fucking...
Dumb.
I know who it was, yeah. The dumbass fucking Spike dude, right?
Nope.
No.
The guy with the spikes. He'd shoot spikes out.
Well, that's X-Men Evolution.
X-Men Evolution,
That's a different cartoon.
This is a question
Okay,
posed to the listeners again, Toombs.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
I
no,
didn't know this was for...
Well, hold on a minute. Which 90s series you talking about?
The
Right.
first one, the classic one.
Well, then that's not what he just answered.
No,
then.
it's
That
not
was
what
from
I'm
a totally
thinking.
different cartoon.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if you know it, don't blurt it out.
Yeah.
So we're doing another quote, if anybody knows it.
No, we're not doing a quote. We're asking a question.
So if you know the answer to the question, you can call in at 201-580-3712. Who was the character that was added purposely for the 90s series X-Men?
And wasn't X-Men Evolution in 2000s anyway?
I believe so.
Was it? I
think it was-
want to say it was late 90s. I wanted to say it was
It
98
was
or something
after
like that.
it was after the first X-Men movie.
Yeah, because then they had the Toad character in that one that looked like the one from the movie.
Okay.
I think it was a 00 movie
Yeah.
in 2000s. Yeah,
Yeah, it could be right.
but
I'm not
yeah,
really sure
so
about that.
If you know the answer, call in. We're going to be taking callers as soon as you call
As
in.
soon as you call in.
So
Yeah.
where am I thinking of the stupid Spike guy? Because I don't remember ever seeing Evolution. You know? I must have got him from somewhere.
There was the one guy in the movie, X-Men Origins. Was it? Was it the Wolverine? maybe?
Wolverine Origins.
Or-
No, are you thinking of
Spike guy.
Spike was in Last Stand.
All right, maybe that's what I'm thinking
Maybe it
of.
was last
Yeah.
Stand.
Spike was in Last Stand, and he was played by the same guy that played the Asian guy on Lost, the
Yeah.
telekinetic Asian.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Last Stand was disappointing with all those fake ass characters. You know, like how it had that group of
Yeah, there was
Oh,
a
that's
lot of them
because
just thrown
that's
in there.
because of the way that the original director of the
Yeah.
first two left to go do Superman Returns.
kind of went astray. You know?
You know, and then they had a new guy come in with a whole new story because he didn't want to do Bryan Singer's movie.
Right.
They revamped it all, and
I mean, I
What
like
we
the
have,
inclusion
what we
of
have.
some guys like Juggernaut. That was cool.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it was that Juggernaut in your
Yeah.
opinion. Like, I don't know.
No, there's no way that was Juggernaut. See,
I'm a hardcore X Men fan,
Juggernaut's
so
a
for me,
humongous guy.
Juggernaut's supposed to be
Out of
magical. He's with
Yeah.
the demon's Krytak or whatever his name is that gives him
not
his power.
not just gaining momentum, but gaining size.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, Valiant is coming out. Well, they've restarted the company, Valiant, the comic book company, and I've heard a lot of really good things from a lot of different people about that. Yeah, man, you should read this as a must read. And some of the books that I know that they did when they were out originally is Exo, the Man O' War, and the Harbingers. So maybe you should try to pick up that. That ought to be a good read. I don't know. I'm going to.
Where were they before? Did they just come back out?
Well, they when the collector bubble burst, it wasn't just comic shops and people trying to resell their comics that went out of business. It was comic book companies,
Right.
Because they were caught with print runs of 20,000 books of one book that everybody at the time bought 10 copies of already. So, what are you going to do with all this surplus? That's money that they put out of their pocket, end up going bankrupt. I mean, Marvel in the 90s filed for chapter, I think it was 11 or chapter 13 or something like that. Almost went out of business.
Chapter 24.
Chapter 24. I don't know.
Isn't that crazy how close it came?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody would have picked it up though.
Oh yeah.
You know,
So, yeah.
for fucking pennies.
At the
You
time,
know?
think about how stupid Disney feels now.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn, we should have picked them up in the 90s.
yeah.
I'll freak if they ever buy them, dude.
They already
They already
did,
did.
Wait, I thought they bought.
and they bought him too. They're
bought
buying the
Marvel, too.
world, man.
Marvel.
Then how come it doesn't say Disney in the beginning of the movies?
Not yet, because they
Will
right
they?
now they own Marvel, and they own everything about Marvel. But for I want to say,
Okay, if you want an answer to that question, it's because when they were in negotiations,
yeah, they said like a hands-off clause,
it was, yeah.
some shit like that, right?
Marvel retains full creative control.
I knew they were buying everything.
Only for a certain amount of time, though, right?
Well, I didn't get that deep. It's not like I read the legalese of the contract. I mean, I'm just reporting what I read on Deadline.
Right. Okay.
Well, like I couldn't really find anything that said, clearly Disney owns Marvel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at.
Well, they own them though. They do.
Yeah,
they have creative control.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
That's why actually, if you look around too, there used to be a lot of different Marvel cartoons on different stations. Nickelodeon had the Iron Man. Yeah. There was one on Disney. There was one on Channel 11. Avengers Assemble. It was on Cartoon Network. All that stuff got canceled, and everything now is basically getting put on Disney XD. Like all their cartoons.
Is it toned down?
No,
it's Disney XD.
It's Disney
As long as they don't
XD.
fuck with the formula.
Yeah, they don't.
Tone it down.
I think they'd be stupid to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the cash cow that is Marvel at this point. Just in movie, well, right now movies, because that's where they're making all their money at, obviously. Because comic books itself is still not making the money it did at certain points.
It never will.
You know what I mean?
I don't think
it probably never will, but you never know.
Toombs, you know what you should do?
Yo,
there's a guy on YouTube called "It's Just Some Random Guy." I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He got popular by when the comic book movie revolution started, he would take his toys of DC and Marvel, and he would do a PC, like it was like done to like the same style as a PC Mac commercial where they would argue about their movies. Right? No, go look. He's been around. He's been around for a while.
So it's like Robot Chicken, but just about a subject, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Go look at him. He's very funny.
That's funny.
But he when the news was announced that Disney was buying Marvel, he did this video. What the fans think is going to happen and what the companies say is going to happen. If you can go to your computer right now, go to YouTube, type in "It's Just Some Random Guy Disney Marvel."
Okay.
And somebody, try and keep talking while one person's doing that.
Well, I was going to get back to my comic news and something else that I'm excited about, which I don't know necessarily that our fans would or that the people that listen to our show or anybody else that we know. But ElfQuest is coming back out, which for me was a pivotal, one of the first books I started to collect as a kid. Because I've always been obsessed with like the fantasy aspect of anything. I'm a big Lord of the Rings guy. Hence the
Did we
reason why I
talk
like
about that a little
D&D.
bit last week? ElfQuest?
No.
Didn't I say? I thought
Maybe.
we did. Maybe not.
No, I don't remember it.
Might be thinking of something else. Remember I asked if there was hobbits in it? It was something else. You said the word elf something that's coming back, but maybe it was...
Maybe it was something else, but... and I think I remember answering that question.
It might have been a very short...
It's called short-term memory loss.
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
I got it too. That's why I don't fully remember, and I listened to the,
Yeah, I listened to it too, and I still don't remember, because that's how stupid I am. Anyway.
It's okay.
They're putting it back out. Dark Horse is actually... they're not even going to be doing reprints. They're going to be doing like a whole new format of the book. But interesting factoid about ElfQuest, it's one of the only books in all of comic books to be reprinted by both major companies and the original independent. Epic was the company that put the book out initially in the 70s. I want to say 78. Then Marvel bought Epic and then reprinted the books under the Marvel banner. Then they dropped the title for whatever reason. The creators took the book away. I don't know what the split was about, but then they weren't out for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. Then all of a sudden, boom, DC buys the property and reprints the whole entire 215 issue run or whatever the hell it is. And so that's one of the only books ever to have 3 different print runs about the same material.
It's crazy. So it never changed.
They didn't. Nothing was ever changed when they reprinted them. It was just straight reprints, but just under different banners.
Strange.
Yeah, it's weird. I've never heard of another book.
Let's milk this property
that.
for all it's worth.
Yeah.
That's basically what that is.
I wonder how much they make off of it.
For a while, the ElfQuest by itself in the 70s was outselling Marvel. And
was that a video game? It just makes me think.
It was a role. They turned it into a role-playing game.
Okay.
Something similar to D&D back in the 80s when D&D was in its time frame, or the late 70s, early 80s when D&D was at its highest hiatus.
I got a question. Do you think the guys that are making comics today are making money?
I would think that they have to be.
Yeah, they have to be at least making a living.
I would think the guys that
But
are
they're
making...
not loaded from it.
Well, no, it depends on the guy.
Yeah.
And depends on your situation. If you're working for
But
the
it's
big...
a lot harder now than it was.
Well, sure, probably.
lot harder.
I would say it's probably a lot easier now
Yeah.
to make money as opposed to it was back then.
Really?
Sure. I mean, you got to think about it. Comics started in the 30s. So you're talking about the Depression. You're talking
Well, I'm
about,
talking about
then World War
comparing-
II happens. Boom.
I'm talking
Nobody's
about
making money there
15,
either.
20 years ago. Not that.
Well, the heyday of comics was in the 50s when they had their most readership. They made the industry as a whole made its most money, you know. Then all this stuff happened in the 60s with a lot of the comics coming out, was when Marvel changed its name and all that. It would change its name to Marvel from Timely and all this other stuff happened. And then there was a guy that was like, like freaking comics are evil. And basically then they basically placated themselves by creating the comic book code. And then after that happened, they kind of died somewhat as a medium. They kind of like let the government censor them.
Mm.
So they never really made as much money as they ever did in the 50s. Even what happened in the 90s was good for not the major two companies.
Right.
For all of these startup companies, it was good for, because just like what happened with Image, which was a huge part of the speculators market, you had guys like Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee coming in and Rob Liefeld coming in and with their own creations selling millions of books.
Yeah, flooding it.
Well, no, because for a time frame in the 91, 92, 93, guys were making money.
Definitely.
Todd McFarlane is a millionaire at this
yeah.
point right now, and it's because of that. You know,
I don't think he's made money in a while, though.
I would
if
say
anything, he's
how
lost
couldn't
money.
he?
Yeah, he's got.
How
he's
couldn't
gotta
he?
have royalties.
The way he's branched out since his initial
gets
thing? Come
he
on.
still gets
What if he
royalties.
Yeah, royalties.
And not only that, there's talk of another Spawn movie.
Oh yeah, but that's been on the back burner for what, like the last 5 years since the second Spider-Man movie came out. There's been that talk.
No, second Spider-Man movie was 2004. It's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, but it's been about. I'd say it's been about 5 years. It's been about at least 2009.
Okay.
Do you think the movie helped destroy that franchise?
Absolutely,
No.
absolutely.
I agree.
The franchise is you mean the
I
comic?
like the Spawn movies.
Most people
Spawn
didn't.
plural?
Critically,
I love the
critically,
animated
it was
one.
shot.
The animated one, that's
beautifully.
different.
Oh yeah,
So
animated was
amazing.
great. Animated was great, but critically, they annihilated the movie. You know what I mean? That's why it.
Well, it had you know what it is? It had a PG-13 rating. You see, you got
Yep.
studio executives involved, and they said, "Well, we need to make this as palatable to as many people as possible."
Which was a
And
bad idea.
Yeah, bad idea. I mean, that movie would have a legacy today if it was rated R.
Sure,
And it
Yep.
had what it should have
100%.
had in it, Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with that. I
Spawn
think
wasn't
that's
meant
one of
to
the
be
reasons. Isn't the first
kiddie-friendly, you know,
isn't
it's
the
meant to
first
be
Blade
violent,
movie
fucked up,
rated
and dark,
R as well?
you know?
Yeah, the first Blade movie is rated R, and it was
And that's why
it was
Blade
sort of
right now
enjoyable.
has had 3 movies made, and you know what I mean. Even from a character in the Marvel lineup who is considered a D character
I mean,
in the
but
tiers.
you can't have vampires
You know what I mean?
and not be rated R. I mean, I'm sorry.
But yeah, in
How's
Spawn,
How's that?
Showing
What do you
blood.
mean?
in Spawn, you could have
What's that
Spawns of
crappy
Hell
Twilight
rated
movie? Isn't that all
PG-13. That's what
PG
fucked
shit?
it up.
That shit
you know?
sucks. That's what I'm saying.
It's still vampires,
That's
right?
what killed it.
But if
Isn't there a
sucks-
show on the WB called
Vampire
Vampire
Diaries?
Diaries?
Yeah.
But it
So
sucks though. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
If it's not rated
Although
R,
although
it's
True
not-
Blood is pretty dope.
True Blood is badass.
It
that's
is
also
dope.
HBO. So
Right.
that is straight rated R right there with a little bit of X in there.
There's no-
Maybe a half X.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Actually,
you're right. It does.
they
It has a
actually
lot.
I've never
like the
seen True
ratings.
Blood, so I can't
They have the
necessarily
ratings
say.
every episode, so there's
What,
like
like
TBS
and for
R?
nudity. And
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, yes, we're gonna see some.
We're gonna see some sucky titties. Sucky
Vamp,
Stackhouse.
vamp nips.
Nips.
Dude, I couldn't believe like this season her getting naked. It barely looks like she even had a kid, man.
She had a kid.
Seriously, she had a kid.
Who's
Season
that?
5.
Anna
Anna
Paquin.
And a Paquin.
Anna Paquin, yeah, she had a.
I don't
fucking
really
kid,
find
and
her attractive.
I think she's all right.
She's. I mean, come
She's
on.
kinda
that's-
cute.
Really, you do?
Something
You find
about
her
her
attractive?
kinda
I don't.
silky,
Something
silky.
about it.
Anna Paquin, I really don't care for her as a whole. but
even with the white stripe on her hair, which I think maybe I would have more.
So, you gotta watch her in True Blood. You
gotta watch her in
You gotta
True
get
Blood.
Rogue
She's-
out of your mind.
yeah,
Well, now,
get
see,
Rogue out of the
Rogue
mind.
is not
Yeah.
hot.
In the
Absolutely.
comics,
I
Rogue's
agree,
hot.
Michael. I agree.
In the comics, she's hot.
Yeah,
not
so, I mean-
not that chick.
Watch True Blood. You know,
Watch True Blood,
She,
you'll
she
get a
looks
different
good.
mindset.
Hey, there's a lot of shows I need to watch.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch Game of Thrones either.
Game
and
of
that's
Thrones is another
all
good
my
one,
friends
too.
tell me, what are you fucking retarded?
I would watch it just for Joffrey.
Oh my god!
I don't know who the hell
Bastard.
Joffrey is, but
Joffrey's my hero.
Jeffrey Joffrey
Everyone
Jones.
is mine to torment.
Oh God, I hate him. I hate him so much. Every time I see him, I just cringe. My bones tighten up, and I mean the good bone.
When does that come back?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it was
Next, what? March, April.
Yeah,
Around-
March. I mean, season 3 just ended.
Yep, just ended, Mike.
So I'm hoping that right now they're going to start maybe putting season 1 back on or something.
But we do
When
got-
I went on
on
demand to try to do that.
We got Breaking Bad coming up, and we got Sons of Anarchy coming up.
Never watched either of them.
Both great. Fucking
Breaking Bad, the best show ever written.
Oh, I love it.
Best
I
show
love it,
ever
dude.
written.
See, I don't know.
I've seen a couple episodes of.
I have a hard time
It's a
getting
good
past
show. It's a great
Malcolm's dad being a drug dealer.
Oh, bro, it's such a good show. just look at it as a character.
Yeah, you have to. You can't come in halfway through that show though. You have to watch that show.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I've been told.
And watch the evolution of
Right.
him
Watch his
of him
climb,
turning
right,
into a
what he
complete
becomes.
badass.
Well, it's the same thing. Like I have a buddy of mine who knows I kind of like have a weird obsession with serial killers too. So
Did you ever watch Dexter?
I have not, and that's
That
one of
shit-
them things
that's
where
another great
I
one.
saw
Nah, that
a
show's
show,
horrible.
I saw an episode and was like, "Wow, this is pretty dope," but
It's a good show.
it didn't make any freaking sense to me because it was
Because
like
you shot at it
two
in the
seasons,
middle.
3
Yeah,
seasons
yeah.
in. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I'm like, "This is kind of dope."
It's a good
And he was
show.
like, "Yeah, you got to watch it from the beginning." You
It's
know?
on the last season.
And
now, but
my
it's-
brother-in-law
it's
was the one telling me about Breaking Bad. All he does, I'm like,
good. Try it from the beginning.
why don't
man,
you suck his
seriously.
dick then too? You know, like
Stinkfist, what did you think about the cliffhanger that it left off at?
Well, technically, it wasn't a cliffhanger. Remember
I
that?
felt it was. I
No,
felt it was
hold on, wait,
epic.
listen. Remember season 5 was supposed to be the last season, and the studio execs at AMC were giving Vince Gilligan a hard time about extending the story, and he said, "No, I've got the story mapped out in my head. If I fuck with the story and extend it, it's not going to make any sense." So then they said, "All right, fine, then split season 5 into 2 seasons." Do you remember that? Season 5 was supposed to be the end.
So they split it up instead.
They split it up.
All I know is
So that
you know,
technically wasn't a cliffhanger.
they left
That
it
was
off
just
though
the
at
end.
the brother-in-law finding out about him, and then that's it. You know.
No,
okay, and that's supposed to make me
Yeah, right.
like how?
Is that the end?
Who the
The
fuck's
brother- the brother-in-law
Why
is
isn't the
serious?
brother-in-law included? It's his brother-in-law.
Okay.
They must have a
Listen,
fucked up
listen.
family.
He's
I don't
a big,
get it.
He's a big-ass drug dealer. His brother-in-law's DEA. He finds out about him. It cuts off.
End of the
Okay.
series.
No, and
End of this-
and the half series which Stinkfist is talking about. I
Okay.
felt it was a.
No,
it was
I mean,
kind of a
didn't you
jolt.
notice that season 5 was only 8 episodes? Every other season, except for the season 1, has been at least 13 episodes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They split the season because Vince Gilligan would not compromise the story, which is why Lost was supposed to be like that too.
Yeah, well, let's not
J-
even get into that, bro. Because
JJ
I could do a whole show about why Lost was awesome and why Lost sucked.
Yeah, I know. Maybe
You know?
that should be the next
And
show.
I love Abrams. I really do. Like, I'm not gay or nothing, but I might give him a reach around. Like, that's how much I like him. You know what I mean?
I think that makes you bi. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit, Dave. I'm gonna sit a
I'm a
little
little
further away
curious.
You're a
now.
little bi-curious.
I have long arms.
Well, we got about a couple minutes left. So we should probably shout out a couple of shows here. We're
Yeah.
on Corrosive Radio.
That's right.
And well, you can always listen to us every Friday night,
From 8 to 9.
8 to 9.
We also have our friend at Outback Radio,
Charlie Outback.
Charlie Outback.
His show is what is it, Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, I think,
Tuesdays
right?
9 to 10.
Tuesday.
And
9 to 10.
we now have a co-host who is I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the conservative talk show host Bob Grant.
Vaguely.
I don't know, he's a very famous talk show host. His grandson is now Charlie Outback's co-host.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we got an addition.
A little bit of
to the team there,
credibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Wednesday night, right?
Wednesday night from 10 to 11 is the Corrosive Radio Comedy Show, and that's the one that I'm on with two paid comics, Brett Eidman and Nick LaManna, and my friend Dan Sr.
Nice. So check all that stuff out, man.
Yeah, check all that out. You can also catch us on Facebook.
You can also
KMDT Presents Geek Blast.
yeah,
And Twitter.
Twitter as well.
Post some stuff on there. Post
For
some
now,
questions
I mean-
for us, maybe.
Yeah,
For now,
we're
I
gonna
think we're just gonna find some refuge in Mike's beard. But until next week.
Like the birds and Peter.
I can't wait to jump in that beard, man. Open it up, Mike.
Episode of Family Guy. Peter, you got birds in your beard.
You know what? I'm pissed off. The guy from Vermont didn't even call in tonight.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Maybe they have a bad storm up there or something. Who knows?
All right. So I'm going to play this clip one more time. I'm going to tell you guys what it is. All right.
Okay.
Well, how about letting us answer since
Yeah,
nobody
let us
wanted to call?
answer it, Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Answer. Try.
So play it one more time.
Hey, play it one more time and then we'll answer.
All right.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice
no,
try.
really,
Nice
I'm
try.
Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's Iron Man 1.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
No, I already said no to that. Somebody instant messaged me that.
Mike.
Did I really?
Yeah.
I missed
It
that.
wasn't
So
Iron
there
Man
was
1?
2.
So yeah.
It's not Iron Man 2 either.
Not Iron Man at all?
It's not Iron. It's not Iron Man at all.
Spider-Man.
Okay, let me think of this.
Not
then.
Spider-Man.
What? This is
Wow, this is
bad.
bad. We don't know this one?
This is really bad.
This is retarded.
Is it an X-Men movie?
Nope.
All right, so that means it's one of the Fantastic Four.
Getting slightly warmer.
I'm going to say
Rise of Silver Surfer?
You got it.
All right.
That's the wedding scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow, man.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic Four, Rise.
Probably
of
one of my least seen.
Yeah,
So you know why
the movie sucked.
that dude's voice at the beginning maybe sounded like Favre a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's definitely him. I was 100% off on that one.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, so guys, you tune in next week, 8 o'clock.
For more jibber jabber.
KMDT Presents, signing off.
Geek Blast.
Peace.
I'm Lord Vader and I give respect. Your planet and your life is what I expect. Cape on my back, cable box on my chest, leather pants on my death, hot oil on my breath. You'll be jealous of my boots, jealous of my gloves, jealous of my belt with my blinking lights. Cause I'm the Dark Lord with the power to dismiss the people's skills like the Bantha piss. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. It's the Emperor coming through the door. Ready to make an entrance, so back on up. I'm about to blow some planets up. Ha 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 ha, yeah, you know I'm crazy. And my skin is pale and pasty. Cause I'm evil. I like it when the planets go boom. I once got busy in the Death Star